How to be happy after retirement. 5 proven psychological tips for seniors over 60.
Have you ever had one of those quiet mornings where everything seems still, maybe even a little too still? You wake up, no alarm clock, no rush to be anywhere. On paper that sounds like freedom, but in reality, it can feel strangely empty. The house is quiet, the phone doesn't ring as often, and you start to wonder, what now? Retirement is supposed to be the golden chapter of life, right? The reward after decades of hard work. But here's something many people don't talk about. When the routines stop, when the structure fades, and when the purpose you felt in your job is gone, it can leave a space that's hard to fill. And that space? It can make happiness feel like a moving target. But the good news is it doesn't have to be that way.
Happiness after retirement isn't about grand vacations or spending money. It's about making small shifts in how we think and what we do each day. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 simple psychological tips that can help you feel more fulfilled, more connected, and yes, genuinely happier in this new phase of life. Let's start with something that's surprisingly powerful: finding a new sense of purpose. Now, I know the word purpose might sound big and dramatic, but think of it like this. Purpose is simply the feeling that you matter, that your day has meaning beyond just passing the time. For years, your job probably gave you that. You woke up knowing you had responsibilities, people relying on you, goals to reach. Retirement takes that structure away, but your need for purpose doesn't disappear. One of the most uplifting things you can do is to find a new role for yourself. Not necessarily a job, but a reason to get out of bed in the morning. Maybe it's helping out at the local community garden. Maybe it's mentoring a younger person, sharing your hard-earned wisdom. Or maybe it's simply committing to learn something new like painting or baking, or even mastering that smartphone that still confuses you. The point is, humans are wired to grow at any age. When you feel like you're contributing to something, even something small, it lights up your brain in ways that lift your mood and give you energy. And that's not just feel-good fluff, that's backed by real science in positive psychology. Now, before we dive in, if you're new here and haven't subscribed yet, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. We're on a mission to bring you science-backed, practical health tips like this every week. And trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Let's continue. Purpose alone isn't enough. Let's talk about another factor that plays a huge role in happiness: staying socially connected. Now, I get it, as we get older, it becomes a little harder to maintain those social circles. Friends move away, people get busy, and let's be honest, not everyone wants to go out every weekend or chat on the phone for an hour anymore. But here's the thing, we are social creatures. Even if you're an introvert, some form of regular connection is vital for emotional well-being.
And no, I don't mean you have to go out and join a club if that's not your style. Social connection can be as simple as a weekly coffee with a neighbor, a walk with someone from your building, or even joining an online group where people your age share stories, laugh, and support each other.
Even saying hello to the same cashier at the grocery store each week, or chatting with the librarian, those small human moments can do more for your mood than scrolling on a phone ever could. And if you're someone who feels nervous about starting conversations or putting yourself out there again, just remember, other people feel the same way. Often, everyone's just waiting for someone else to make the first move. And so if you've been feeling a little lonely, a little out of the loop, take the first step, however small. Send that text, make that call, say yes to that invitation, even if you feel hesitant. Over time, those little social sparks build warmth and connection that feed the heart and soul. And as we're talking about connection, let's not forget one more powerful and often overlooked way to stay emotionally well: being kind to yourself. It might sound simple, but hear me out. After retirement, some people unconsciously carry around a sense of guilt or uselessness. They think, I should still be productive, or I'm not doing enough with my time. That voice in your head, the one that criticizes and compares, it's not helping, it's draining your joy. Self-kindness isn't about letting yourself off the hook or being lazy. It's about giving yourself permission to enjoy life as it is, to celebrate what you've already done, and to rest without shame. Think of how you talk to a close friend who was going through a hard time. Would you criticize them? Or would you remind them of how far they've come and encourage them to enjoy what they've earned? Start talking to yourself that way. Gently, supportively. If a task takes a little longer than it used to, that's okay. If you forget something now and then, it happens. If your energy isn't what it was 10 years ago, well, it doesn't have to be. A life isn't a race, it's a collection of moments. And the more gently and kindly you treat yourself in those moments, the more room there is for happiness to settle in. When we combine purpose, connection, and self-kindness, we create a kind of inner foundation, one that isn't shaken by the changes retirement brings, one that feels strong and even joyful from the inside out. Now that we've begun to explore how purpose, connection, and a gentle mindset can shift our experience in retirement, it's time to talk about something that might surprise you, embracing change instead of resisting it. Now, I know change isn't always easy, especially when it feels like the world is moving faster than ever. New technology, new routines, new aches and pains. It can be tempting to dig in our heels and say, I like things better the old way. And you know what? That's a perfectly human reaction. But here's the thing. The more we resist change, the more we feel left behind, and that can chip away at our happiness bit by bit. Think of it like standing in a river. If you try to brace yourself against the current, you'll feel all that pressure pushing against you. But if you let yourself float a little, if you let go of trying to control every piece of it, suddenly you're moving with the flow instead of against it. That same idea applies to retirement life. Maybe your daily routine looks different now. Maybe your kids don't call as often as you'd like, or maybe that neighborhood you've known for 30 years feels like it's changing too fast. Those things are real and they can stir up frustration. But instead of focusing on what's changed, try asking, what can I explore that's new? Try picking up that smartphone and asking your grandchild to teach you something on it. Take a class you never had time for, even if it's just online. Go sit in the park with a notebook and write down a few things you see that you've never noticed before. The act of adapting, of leaning into change with curiosity, actually keeps the brain flexible, the heart open, and the spirit young. It's not about becoming a new person. It's about allowing yourself to grow, even now, especially now. And sometimes that means letting go of the story that says, oh, I'm too old for this, because the truth is you're not. You're alive, you're capable, and you're allowed to change just as much now as you ever were. And as you start opening yourself to change, another beautiful shift happens. You start to live more in the present moment. This might be one of the most powerful psychological habits of all, learning how to truly be where you are. Not stuck in the past, not worrying about the future, but simply enjoying the here and now. And look, I know that's easier said than done. It's easy to dwell on old memories, especially the good ones, or to worry about what might go wrong in the next 5 or 10 years. But the truth is, life only ever happens in one place, right here. Right now, you're listening to a voice, maybe sitting by a window, or sipping tea, or relaxing in your favorite chair. And in this moment, everything might actually be okay. Not perfect, not magical, but okay. And sometimes, okay is enough. One small practice that helps is this. When you're doing something ordinary, washing dishes, watering plants, even folding laundry, try slowing down just a little. Notice the feel of the water, the color of the leaves, the smell of the fabric. These moments are small, but they are real. They are your life, and they are worth noticing. You can also take a few minutes each day to simply breathe. Sit quietly. Close your eyes if you want. And just notice your breath going in and out. You don't need to meditate for an hour or become a yoga master. Just 3 deep breaths. That alone can lower stress, lift your mood, and bring you right back to the present. When you live more in the moment, you start to see beauty in places you used to overlook. A bird on the windowsill, a laugh on the radio, the way the light hits the kitchen table in the morning. These are small joys, but they add up. They remind you that even in stillness, life is unfolding and you're a part of it. And sometimes, in that stillness, you might even rediscover something that's been quietly waiting for you. Your inner sense of gratitude. This isn't about pretending everything's perfect or ignoring life's challenges. It's about gently training your mind to focus on what is good, what is working. Gratitude isn't just polite, it's powerful. Studies have shown that regularly practicing gratitude can literally rewire the brain to be more optimistic, more resilient, and more joyful. So how do you do it? Start simple. Each morning or before bed, think of just one thing you're thankful for. And maybe it's your warm cup of coffee, a favorite song, the way your dog greets you at the door. Write it down if you like, or say it out loud. But let yourself feel it even for just a few seconds. And on the hard days when nothing seems to go right, don't force it. Instead, ask yourself gently, what's one small thing I can still appreciate right now? That question alone can shift your entire perspective. Gratitude is like a light switch in a dark room. It won't fix everything, but it helps you see where you are, and sometimes that's all you need to feel more grounded, more peaceful, and yes, a little bit happier. So as you move through each day in this new chapter of life, remember, you are not done growing, you are not done discovering, and you are certainly not done feeling joy, because joy, my friend, isn't reserved for the young. It isn't something that fades with age, it just changes shape. And once we start seeing the small, quiet moments of life through a lens of purpose, connection, growth, and presence, something begins to shift inside us. We stop waiting for happiness to arrive and start realizing it's been quietly available all along. Now, before we close, there's one more piece to this puzzle, and it may be the most important of all: giving yourself permission to be happy. It sounds simple, doesn't it? But take a moment and really think about it. Have you truly allowed yourself to enjoy this season of life without guilt? Without feeling like you need to earn your rest, your peace, your laughter? Too often people carry invisible rules, old messages that say, I should be doing more, or I'm no longer needed, so what's the point? But here's the truth. You've already done the heavy lifting. You've raised families, built careers, kept households running. You've shown up again and again through life's beautiful and difficult chapters. Now it's time to show up for yourself. Being happy now doesn't mean forgetting your past or ignoring your responsibilities. It means recognizing that happiness is not selfish, it's healthy. It means allowing joy in without waiting for some special occasion or someone else's approval. You don't need a reason to enjoy your morning walk, or to smile at something silly on TV, or to sit quietly and just feel peaceful for no reason at all. In fact, giving yourself permission to be happy is one of the most generous things you can do, not just for yourself, but for the people around you. When your loved ones see you smiling, laughing, engaged in life, they don't think you're wasting time. They see someone who's still alive, still vibrant, still choosing joy, and that's a gift. And don't worry if there are days when the happiness doesn't come easily. That's normal. Life still has ups and downs no matter your age. But what changes, what can change, is your response. You can meet those hard days with compassion instead of criticism. You can say, today was tough, but I'm still here. I'll try again tomorrow. That simple act, that quiet resilience, is the root of lasting happiness. So, if you've been feeling unsure about retirement, if the quiet moments feel too quiet, if you've been asking yourself, is this all there is? Please hear this. There is more. There's more laughter to be had, more mornings to wake up to, more music to hear, books to read, paths to walk. There are still conversations waiting to be had, friendships waiting to form, hobbies waiting to be discovered. There's still time not to do everything but to do what matters. Happiness after retirement isn't some far-off goal. It's a gentle practice, a habit you build with small choices every single day. You find it in purpose, in connection, in curiosity. You find it in kindness to yourself and to others. You find it in the courage to keep opening your heart even when life changes shape. So let today be a new kind of beginning. Try one small thing, just one that makes you feel a little more alive. Call someone, take that walk, learn that thing you've been putting off, or simply sit with yourself and say, I'm allowed to be happy. I deserve to enjoy this life. And if this message resonated with you, if it sparked something inside, I'd love to hear about it. Leave a comment and share your thoughts or your own tip for staying happy after retirement. You never know who might read it and feel just a little more hopeful because of you. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumb up and subscribe for more conversations just like this. We're building a community here, a space for encouragement, laughter and support, and we'd love for you to be part of it. Remember, happiness doesn't have an expiration date. It isn't something you leave behind in your younger years. It grows with you, changes with you, and waits patiently for you to invite it in again. Here's to living your best life, not someday, but now, at any age, because you're still writing your story, and there are beautiful chapters yet to come.